Yes, the one and only Mary Nyaruai. Welcome to the show, my girl.
Thank you, Jambi. Thank you so much.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Manze, this is my first time when a microphone is next to me like this, and I can hear my voice. And
Are you sweating?
No, I'm like, is this how I talk?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking niko na homa, but
yeah.
God is good. Thank you so much for having me.
Amen.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. So this is the first time you're listening to yourself.
Yeah, on a very beautiful, elegant speaker like this.
Whoa, girl! Are you trying to say I'm smart?
What I'm trying to say is, Trace, you're doing the most.
Yeah?
And it's appreciated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So they better pay me more.
They better.
They better.
If they ain't.
All right, they ain't. No. It's just, okay, I'm joking. Well. Don't worry not, girl, worry not. But anyways, a little more money wouldn't do me any harm, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd want more money, wouldn't you?
Me, I want a lot of money.
You want a lot of money?
A lot.
You want a lot?
I want a lot of money.
You want a lot of money? Wow. Don't we all? Kinoti, do you want a lot of money? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, that's good. We all want a lot of money. But, speaking of a lot of money and a lot of things, Mary Nyaruai is your name.
Yes.
Look at me introducing you instead of you telling us your names. So tell me, what do you do?
As you said, my name is Mary Nyaruai.
Right.
And I'm the founder of a startup called Nyungu Afrika.
Nyungu Afrika.
Yes, Nyungu because it's a symbol of the womb of the woman. So, and I felt a lot of belonging when we were forming the company name, because I was like, there's really... When I think about the kind of products, especially menstrual products, Black women and African women were really stereotyped.
Right.
With very, low standard products when it comes to, menstrual products and a lot of things, yeah?
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a brand name that's really, something we can hold on to and say, this is ours, it's made by our women, it's
right.
with African raw materials, something that really, with the physiology of the African woman in mind.
Something we can resonate with.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you said I speak a lot of English.
English Missouri.
Missouri Pia. I speak some Queen's English.
Yes.
Okay, I have someone listening in from the UK. They might dispute that. I don't really speak some good English, but hey, Mary Nyaruai said I speak good English. Who am I to dispute? Carry on, girl. So you're telling us about Nyungu Afrika.
Yeah, so Nyungu Afrika was formed in 2019.
Uh-huh.
And I normally say when I join the dots backward,
right.
I feel like it was inevitable for me to be here, even being here with you, talking to you, because...
Yeah.
You're a person I really admire, because you're true for the cause.
Yeah.
Even despite everything you've gone through, because I was seeing your journey and I was talking to you about this.
Right, yeah.
The surgeries I was seeing, and I was like, man, you're really going through so much,
Yeah.
And you are a voice for a lot of women who are going through the same thing with misdiagnosis. And now hearing your story, and I'm seeing you talking to you, I'm like, man, this is a dream come true. And I was telling you that I was fangirling. I was like, yo, I've met Jambi.
But you didn't take pictures
can't
of
tell me nothing.
Oh gosh. I'm just the most simple, most accessible human being. But I'm really honored, and to me, such a blessing to be, here on radio interviewing you and seeing what you've done. You can remember when, Kinoti got in touch with me. I mean, Kinoti told me. Kinoti is the super producer hapa wakiwa na Langat, kijana DCI hapa Kinoti. Last week, was it last week, Kinoti? Yes. It was last week. He came, we had an interview with somebody else, and then he came to me and said, yo, Jambi, I think you really need to meet my friend. She's really dope. She's making pads out of agricultural waste. And first of all, I just rolled my eyes, as like agricultural waste. So I thought, and I said to myself, yo, she be making pads out of pig feeds, or what in the hell? Or what, is it, what do you mean agricultural waste? Of course, Kinoti being Kinoti, he would not even explain to me. So he left it at that. And I was like, okay, that sounds like something interesting. I would really be interested to, learn more about. But, when I met you today and I saw the pads, oh my goodness, it's such a shame that I'm not able to show them because of, startup issues. But listen, this Ebu wacheni kwanza niwagusie. These are real pads made out. Ebu tell us how you make these things, because I still can't believe it.
So
And first of all, how did you even think of it? How did you even think of making pads out of agricultural waste? And in this regard, what agricultural waste is this?
Good story. There's a fat story behind how I started those
Tell us
products.
the fat story. We want to hear.
So when I was working in a bank, I was a debt collector.
Uh-huh.
So, my day was calling people to pay their debts.
Oh, so you were one of those.
I was one of those people,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And then when I was doing that, I started following a lot of women who were doing stories about birth and of course the vagina, about periods. So if you go through my page,
So in the middle of debt collection, you were thinking about.
Yeah, in the middle of debt collection, I became so curious. I'm like
you're thinking about vaginas.
Vaginas. I'm like
in the middle of debt collection. Geez, they must have done you really bad. Hey,
So I was going to Instagram. So I got into Instagram Ukoma 2017, and then I used to follow very brilliant women talking about luteal birth, sati, when a woman is giving birth.
Yes.
The cord is not supposed to be cut immediately. Just leave it there with the baby, and then they absorb the stem cells and everything.
Yeah.
And then pictures of birth and assisted births of women.
Yes.
And then I was like, then they could say things like the way a baby comes inside a woman is the way a baby is supposed to come out when it's orgasmic. When it's a beautiful experience.
So it's not supposed to be painful.
It's not supposed to be. When you have a very good support system, a midwife, a doula, your partner, if you don't have a very beautiful unassisted birth.
Right.
And I was like, when you remember how because me I have 2 children, then I remember, oh my God, how my births were so traumatic.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I'm like, the other side of the world really approaches womanhood with a lot of intention.
Right.
But when you come here, you're like...
It's brutality.
It's brutality, right? Everywhere.
It's
walking, giving birth, periods.
Yeah.
So when I was doing that, I was just uploading content on my page, just bare vaginas. And I was like, I'm learning about hormones. What happens when a woman doesn't balance her hormones. Yeah.
Right.
So this went on from 2017, 2018. I'm just posting content. Guys are like, what are you doing?
You become so vagina-fied.
So at some point, I was calling myself a vagina activist because I was really inside. I'm like, you guys, you don't know what I'm learning.
Like, gosh.
Okay. So in 2019, the hashtag came for my always experience. Yeah.
Yes.
Then I was like, wait. Kumbe, even birth is not the only place where we are just being disadvantaged.
Yeah.
Kumbe, even the periods are an issue.
Yes.
And funny enough, I used to have the same experience when it comes to irritation. And I
think everyone experienced it until those our sisters on Twitter started talking about it. And for a very long time we thought, because back in the day, like in the 90s when some of us started menstruating back in the day, we didn't have options. So we just had to use those ones, and they would choma you a good one, and so you're like, okay. So when I saw that hashtag on Twitter, I was like, you see the power of amplifying voices, because now there's so many other options. And now you see the power of women coming together and talking about it. It brought so much change. Yeah, but that also pushed you.
Then I was like, kumbe, that's why I was doing all this vagina stuff.
The V stuff.
Kumbe, the dots were to join. Yeah.
Right.
So it happened. Then I was like, so by that time, at least I'd built myself as a brand to be trusted, to talk about women issues, because I was really educating myself. Yeah?
Right.
About even when I heard about you, I was like, there's endometriosis, adenomyosis. There are so many conditions for women.
And PCOS.
Yeah, PCOS, yeah. And I was like, women are really suffering in silence.
In silence, yes.
Yeah. So at least when I used to go to my page, because I've read a lot of books beyond the pill, woman code, in the flow, and all these books were talking about periods and how a normal period should look like.
Yeah.
So I used that knowledge and just used to copy paste what I've read, understood, and put it on my page. Then women started coming to me like, what should I do? Me, I'm not an expert at that time. I'm like, from this book I read, this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Then, of course, now the hashtag happened, and I was like,
light bulb moment.
Yeah. So what I did, I reached out to a company in the US. I told them, please send me your pads.
I just want to know how after the whole hashtag was on Twitter about women complaining, and just raising concern about, the menstrual health products that were in the market at the time and the damage they were causing. And that's when you got your light bulb moment. And then Honeypot, you reached out to Honeypot, sent you the pads, and of course you felt the mint, and you're like, yo, I ain't going back. Hell no. So what am I going to do? Yeah.
So now I started doing research.
Right.
And then I found that, okay, now a pad has 3 components: the top sheet, the middle one is called the absorbent, and the back sheet. Yeah. So what we use is the absorbent core, the one that absorbs the blood, is made from wood pulp, because one of the components is cellulose.
Cellulose.
Cellulose, yeah.
Okay.
So, from biology, which was my favorite subject, I used to know that plant fibers have a lot of cellulose. So growing up in Thika, which is the pineapple capital of Kenya, Del Monte, there are a lot of small-scale farmers for pineapples are there. I've been seeing pineapples literally every day of my life, yeah? So when that moment came and I was doing a lot of research, and I was like, let me put a lot of things to test.
Right.
Yeah? So luckily, around our home, there are a lot of plant fibers. There's papyrus, there's aloe vera. So what I used to do is I used to go and take these fibers, and then I would scrap them off.
You'd tuna them?
I would tuna them, and then I would scrap them off and dry them, and then I was comparing the results. But I think one there's a day I went and took, there's a plant which looks like sisal. I took it home. I started scrapping off the fibers. And then I didn't realize that the juice that comes out is the one that...
the sap.
The sap, yeah.
Yeah. Hata mimi najua biology Kinoti usinione hivi. Guys. So najua sap. Did you know what sap is, young man? Haukujua. You did not know. Yeah, and you're here looking at me like I'm like CG. Do you even know? Do you
Hemicellulose. So
yeah.
So niko hapo na hizo masapia. Hizo masapia just dripping on my thighs.
Yeah.
So kidogo my thighs are itching, they are red. Then I'm like, yo, I'm going to lose my legs doing research, man.
Yeah.
So I go to the internet and I'm like, the juice that comes from this plant.
Yes.
Then I Google, and then they're writing at it. It's normally used in prisons to torture prisoners.
What?
Because you itch.
Yeah,
you itch. And then I became so red. And I was like, I think let me first... put it down a notch, just this research thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, I was very discouraged at that point.
What plant is this? Inaitwaje?
It's in the family of sisal.
Okay.
The name escapes me because they almost look the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll Google it and then I'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then now, so what I was doing, I was profiling the fibers around home, and I see what is working, what is not, and then I put it out. I just cancelled it from. I had a checkbox of the plant fibers at home. Yeah.
Okay.
The plant fibers. Yeah.
Okay.
So then now they were pineapple leaves, so that was easy to get. You go to the market, zimejaa kila mahali.
Yeah.
So I got them. I scrapped the leaves. Then I got these fibers, and they were so silky and white and smooth. I have a video in my phone that day when I removed them, and I normally look at it. I'm like, and I was crying that day. I was like, oh my God.
The fibers of the pineapple.
Yeah, they are so beautiful.
Wait, it's like, so ukitoa unaona ngozi ya mananasi. Sinakuwaga ngumu. So hizo fibers zinatoka wapi?
Unajua bedhe kwa plantation ya pineapples, leaves za pineapples zinakuanga refu.
Hizo za green hizo.
Zile za green, sio zile kwa fruit.
Kuna zingine
penye pineapple inatoka.
Okay.
They are very very long. Yeah, 89 centimeters to be precise.
89.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you see how I'm talking about something that is the length of this thing, yeah?
Okay.
So I took those things, and then I was scrapping them off, and then I removed very long, fibers. I washed them.
Yeah.
Then they were very silky. I dried them. Then when they dried, I put them on my window. So what I did, I just took water, and then I was just, pouring them.
Yeah.
And then they were absorbing, and then they were becoming fat, Then I was like,
Is that why they tell women to
eat a lot of pineapple?
Oh my God! Father had like 18 children. Yeah, 18 of them. Yo, listen, kwa hiyo familia kina Morgan Heritage, kuko na hiyo group ya Morgan Heritage, kuko na group ingine tena within that family that sings the also called LMS. There's another group. Ni wengi bana. Bana.
That is siblings. A strong man. Kumudu there. That must be a descendant of the people up at
King Solomon vibes, but yeah. Anyways. Anyway, yeah, so you're telling us about pineapples and, fiber.
Yeah, so I was extracting the fibers. So you know what happens when you have that aha moment? You're like, oh my God, I've created a product. I mean, something, yeah?
Yeah.
So you need allies to open up your eyes. So because I had the idea, I made, the product, the fibers.
Yeah.
I was like, so what do I do next? I need, because I know something can come out of this. So what I did was I went to Kirdi, the Kenya Institute of Research and
Development Institute.
Yes.
Right.
I went there. And I normally say, when people ask me this question, how did this happen? Because the day I went to Kirdi is the day the professor who was doing material science was coming back from Singapore after 4 years.
Wow.
So when I got that day, it was like, I was like, I'm looking for someone who can help me to, extract the cellulose from here and, create pulp because I don't have the facility to do that at home. But I have how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, you have the idea.
I have the idea. So now the guy who was, telling me about the professor was like, you're even in luck. Let me give you his number. So I called Dr. Nyaruai and was like, yeah, actually come next week with your pineapples. Come with now a fresh batch. Then we extract it and then now we make the pulp. Yeah. And that's what I did. I went the following week. I went to a garden. I went to a farm. I was like, yo, give me. So uzuri, these things are normally, it's waste. So it's just in the shamba, it's thrown.
Yeah.
So I was just going and collecting. I put it in a paper bag and then I took it to Dr. Nyaruai. When I got there, we were, of course, talking and it was like, so this is what we are doing. We were going through process by process. And one thing I loved about him was like, now you are creating a novel product. So because we know what is in the market has a lot of chemicals.
Yes.
So we really limited the amount of chemicals that we were using so that the final product does not, interfere with the users. Yeah. So when that happened, he was like, he called me and he was like, Nyaruai nimeona hapa we have actually made the pulp. So he called me, he's like, do you know how to write a patent? I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah. Then I remember, the thing with innovation, you have to have a lot of drive and passion. Yeah. Because now, of course, I went to KIPI, the agency about patenting. They're telling me figures of 60 to 100,000 to write a patent. I'm like, yo, where do I get that money?
Yeah, and you're just starting out.
I'm starting out.
Yeah.
So what does Nyaruai do? Dr. Nyaruai tells me, go to Google patents, just look at how patents are written and try and do the same. So me, I'm just, trying my best. Yeah. So, and I went, of course, it took a lot of months. It took 8 months to really refine how it's done, read, do all those things. And I got the patent. Yeah. And that's how Nyungu started. It was literally a lot of things. And also, one of the things that really even broke me down further was the Jacqueline Chepngeno who committed suicide.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that little girl who committed suicide because of being shamed. I was like, a pad is 50 shillings. Right. Yeah. Why does she even, that stigma of feeling like I will commit suicide because of being shamed, you see? Yeah,
and kids laughing at her in school.
Yeah, I was like, even it's not even about now the products, even it's a mindset change. For somebody to reach a point where you have to commit suicide because of that, our priorities are in the wrong places. Right. So that thing really shook me. I was like, and I have a daughter, I felt so bad. Yeah.
And just to imagine that, there are people who can't afford 50 bob for pads. Yes. It's a problem. It's a serious problem and it's a serious issue. And so I totally understand where you're coming from. And I just wish, anyway, before I jump the gun, continue.
So, and I think then God was really intentional in throwing me into places where I was seeing the problem. Right. Yeah. Because I remember I went to Marsabit. There was a drive I was doing that with a company called Beatrice Fulal. I went there. Girls are saying, Marsabit is really hot. Yeah. Then you give them a product like that. Yeah. It's already plastic. They are like, me hata siwezi vai. Inanichoma. Even I would rather stay without. Yeah. Then you are like, that's not even fair.
Yeah.
Then there was a time I was a mobile journalist, so I was doing these stories for, homeless women. Then she tells you she's using cartons for periods, using old mattresses. They are very dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are so many things that I was like, why am I being pushed into all these places?
Yeah.
Clearly, I have to do something about it,
Yeah, it's divine and it's intentional.
It's divine and intentional. And also now the allies that came through and have been up to this date. For what do you need? Do you need support? Yeah. And of course, it's something we need to talk about. So, and that's how Nyungu was formed,
Yeah.
And so that's in a nutshell the big fat story I wanted to tell you. Of course, there's so many nuances inside, experiences I experienced, some good, some bad. But overall, there were so many things, and as I said, that really, Mary Nyaruai, do something about it. We've given you everything, the facts, what is on the table.
Yeah.
You see the menstrual policy of the country, everything, what women are using. Kids are exchanging sex for pads. There's so many, So do as you will with the information that you have.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is so amazing. I think about it and I'm like, you're using natural products that are readily available. Yeah. So there's no reason as to why you shouldn't. There's no reason as to why you shouldn't be getting government support.
Yes.
And there's no reason as to why we should be having excuses as to why we can't produce this locally, and provide this pads in every part of this country. Because then again, the issue is always taxation. Because we're importing raw materials to make this pads, but this is readily available and it's natural. Yeah. And I like the fact that you're not using those very harsh chemicals, and especially the bleach part of it. When I learned to use bleach on those pads, I was like, it really crushed my heart because I was like, are there any alternatives for African women? Are there alternatives for us? Do we have a voice? Can we speak? Who can we talk to? And considering that you've really, you have allies, you have people who've come through for you, have you received any support from government?
Yeah, I mean, even just going to Kirdi and being given that opportunity to talk to Dr. Kinyanjui. And what I've realized is that this country has a lot of government agencies, Yes. And what I think they should be doing even more is spreading the word out there that, there are these institutions that we have for innovators.
Yes.
So you may think that the government is not there to support, but if you're really intentional, you'll get the help from the same government offices that you think will not support you. So you just have to be very, you have to be very persistent. Even like today, I was in 3 government offices. I was like, this is my product. Right. How are you going to help me?
Yes.
They're like, from this department, we really can't help. Please go here. Yeah. Then you go there. They're like, this is what we can do for you. But if you want more help, go to this agency. Yeah. So that is what happens. It's like you have to, as I said, you have to be very intentional. You have to keep asking questions because again, you see that we are so many innovators and we can only serve a few. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to have a lot of justo and, resilience. Because if you slack, they'll be like, let's go to the next one who. Yeah. So, yes, there has been government support. And there are so many government agencies. Like there's the Kenya Industrial Estates. If you need incubation, there are so many innovation hubs right now in the country. Now because the startup environment and ecosystem is very robust. Yeah. So even if the government... it's really trying its best to come, to be at the same level with Silicon Savannah, and try to have all these innovation hubs for startups. Right. Yes.
And so what's the next step for Nyungu Afrika? You have government support. You've already, you're way past innovation now. I see you've already started producing. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that now it's not, you still have proprietary issues, as you said. Yeah. That, you're still working on through. Yes. What's the next step for Nyungu Afrika?
So because we are still in the testing phase, right. We, as sanitary pads are considered medical devices because, of course, they go to a very intimate region in a woman's body. So we want a lot of support in terms of policies because we know that, as you said, this is a locally produced product, and if it's possible, even to have it near zero cost.
Yeah.
So how is the government going to subsidize the cost of, even producing these pads? And again, because of research and development, we need a very robust research and development center for plant textiles, because that's where we are going, sustainable textiles and everything. And I feel like there's a lot to be gained from pineapple and corn husk fibers, not just even making the sanitary pads. But for Nyungu right now, our main focus is to have these products in the market by the end of this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I know you can achieve that.
We will achieve that.
Amen.
I mean, we have a lot of allies. We have, a lot of support.
Yeah.
But, it when you're in a stage of research and development, you still need to your cup needs to be poured into.
True.
Yeah. So, of course, we need a lot of funding when it comes to, research and development, because a lot of the institutions we have here are not... do not have the capacity to really, propel us to the next step.
Right.
So we need, even if it's to go to outside the country, figure out how to make it a very beautiful product. Yeah.
Right.
But we have the skill sets here. It's just to combine the product designers. This one gives us, a small snippet here, make it beautiful, and then now we make the final product. If it's possible, even to have the machines here.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so if there's somebody who's generous there with like 100 million Kenya shillings.
100 million?
Yeah, just, just to set up a beautiful manufacturing plant over here.
Just 100 million.
Just 100 million is what I need.
Yeah, but
what we need,
Yeah.
So
what you need, she are gonna. Yeah. Anyway, 100 million is not a lot of money considering we spend about 2 billion. We lose 2 billion every day. Jokes. But 100 million. I don't know if there's anyone listening out there, you have a lose 100 million and you feel you can support Mary Nyaruai, get in touch with me. I'll definitely take a 10% commission because I'm going to introduce you to her. But 100 million would do her great.
A lot, man.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that 100 million, imagine the people who are going to be employed.
Right.
Yeah. Imagine the farmers who are going to get additional income when we get, imagine the waste that is going to be removed from the shamba. And the beautiful thing is you can make composite products after you've made the sanitary pads, because this is bio waste. This is
we really have to push for that, and we really, really, really have to be vocal about that. And I'm so glad that you're doing this, and I'm very, very proud of you. This makes my heart, it just warms my heart. Yeah, and the fact that, the pad is made out of pineapple makes it even more sweeter.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, man. Yes. It was very intentional, by the way. I was like, if people say pineapples make, good for your vagina, man, let me put that, pia nieke pineapples kwa sanitary towels.
You just mix some cranberry juice on that.
A cocktail, yeah.
Oh gosh.
So thank you. And also I wanted to mention that your voice is very important also,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also thank you so much for using your experience to really, use this platform to really amplify the voices of women.
Yeah.
There are not so many of us out here. So when I see you, I'm like, hey, the struggle continues.
It does.
But a day at a time, and we're going to get there. But thank you so much. May
Thank
God
you.
bless you
Yeah.
in your endeavors, in your voice.
Right.
We want you to live long, because
I will.
Yeah, you will.
I will.
Yes.
If I'm alive until now, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Amen.
Yeah. So